Hello everyone, my name is Jill. Today I'm going to present a presentation based on a recent essay I wrote for an instructional technology class. And my topic was understanding internet safety and techniques for junior high students. I'm going to apologize right now if I get short of breath. I am expecting, and that happens frequently. And I know I'm going to be talking a lot, so I probably will start losing my breath a little bit. So just bear with me and we'll make it through this. But I did think it was important to separate this presentation in the four main questions and understanding internet safety for junior high students. These questions will help you track along with the presentation. Also, if you feel like you need to take notes, now is the time to do it. We're going to break them into four different sections with hot topics for each section. So, the first question is, where is internet safety used and the importance? What harmful situations may occur when adolescents misuse the internet is number 2. Number 3, what are some methods to teach internet safety to adolescents? And number 4, what resources are available for teachers, parents, and adolescents? We kind of look a little deeper into this, and I found it a really nice quote. Internet safety. Some people may think, adults, teachers, parents may think, okay, kids can figure it out. They're smart with it. They're smart. Why is this such an important topic? And I found this quote that I felt that would fit really well in with this presentation, just to kind of help parents and teachers understand why it is important and why it is our responsibility to help children, adolescents understand that importance. And here it is, I'm going to read it. Though the internet can be a useful educational tool, some users are manipulative, rude, dishonest, or even criminals seeking out those who are vulnerable and unfamiliar with the internet. Okay, so kids are smart. Kids know the internet. They're adolescents. They are on the internet more than us, but they are still vulnerable. If they do not have those safety techniques in place and using them, they are vulnerable and they're unfamiliar with the internet. They do not realize what potential harm is there for them. So I find this quote very important. I based my whole research paper on this one quote, and I just kind of took it apart, and that's where I came up with the 4 questions. So where is internet safety used and the importance? Hot topics for this section is technology. I'm going to define technology and where we see it. Type of technology that requires internet safety, accessibility, and also I'm going to define safety. So we have our hot topics. First hot topic, technology. Most people believe that the only type of technology is a computer or a cell phone. They see the word technology and they kind of buckle down and not necessarily know what kind of technology that they're really exposed to. Reality is that it's very broad. Technology is all around us. It comes in all different types of forms. All generational gaps have used technology. In the job that I work in, I've seen 2-year-olds be able to use technology, and I've seen my 82-year-old grandfather swear up and down that he's never used technology, but he uses it every day. It is all around us. It's our culture. It's our society. It's how we use technology. It's how we survive. Technology is present in computers, cell phones, TV sets, cars, coffee pots, refrigerators, and even toothbrushes. That's just to name a few. We wake up with technology and we go to sleep with technology every day. The technology that requires internet safety. Not all technology can cause harm or cause predators or victimization. However, internet, we do need safeguards. And the safeguards include anything that has a World Wide Web or something that the web that will connect to someone else who can see our information. The accessibility is very accessible. Within the last 5 years, the accessibility has become prominent all around us. There's 5 different forms of possible internet connections. The cable internet, DSL internet, Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, high-speed internet, wireless, satellites. What does this mean? This means that not only adults can basically access internet anywhere, but children can and adolescents can as well. They can go close themselves off in their bedroom and privately message someone. They can be in the locker room at school. They can be at the grocery store, at the park. And people are able to track them if they don't have the safeguards in place. So it's very important to know where it's accessible. as long as they have the proper devices such as cell phones, laptops, and iPads, which most children have that accessibility. And safety. Safety is important for all aspects of life. It is a preventive practice. It arises when people or adolescents are not aware of harmful situations. If they're not aware that internet will cause them harm and it's used insecurely, then it's even more at risk. So it's important to understand safety and internet. Number 2, what harmful situations may occur when adolescents misuse the internet? Our hot topics that we're going to talk about are adolescents themselves, cyberbullying, and victimization. Here's our hot topics. We have adolescents. They have a common ground. Adolescents, the age group for them is 11 to 14 years old. At this age, they're experimenting, they're finding themselves, they're becoming very independent and somewhat defiant of their parents or adults. They appear to have a common ground, believing that harm will not happen to them. They feel invincible. The attitude of adolescence allows the target to widen as potentially becoming a victim on the internet. As they're on the internet, they may look at things that they shouldn't. They may get on sites to communicate with others, just to form friendships. Developmentally, risky behavior is part of youth growth, and for some, the level of risk-taking behavior increases as they age. I know I was a risk taker, and if I would have had internet, I probably would have needed to have some intervention and some safety guards in place. One thing that can be addressed in this area is cyberbullying. This is something to be very aware with, especially when they're with our adolescent population. It's a growing trend among teenagers. Adolescents who are vulnerable to cyberbullying may be more at risk when they do not follow internet safety guidelines. 20% of the 4,400 randomly selected 11 to 18-year-old students were surveyed in 2010 indicated they had been victims of cyberbullying. One thing to keep in mind is cyberbullying happens in every school, every grade that has accessibility to internet. And so it's a growing trend. You hear it every day on the news, you see it in the papers, and I've heard about it in our school system. Cyberbullying is another type of thing that is a new form of bullying. And there are many examples: hurtful text messages, spreading rumors online, creating false web pages and claiming to be someone that they're not and making someone a victim of that, taking pictures in private areas and then posting those disturbing pictures online. More recently, there's been recordings and people posting them like on YouTube and Facebook and different places, and then tagging others, rating them, and also discussing it. So these are some examples of cyberbullying. They kind of follow the same profile as bullying. We also have victimization. This is something to really watch out for. It's when you are solicited and groomed by internet predators to act in a sexual or hurtful manner. It is a growing trend as adolescents continue to socialize online. The threat will increase. This is also another thing to watch when adolescents are by themselves using the internet and socializing to people that we may not know who they're even socializing to. It could be a person down the street, it could be someone kind, it could be a total criminal, it could be a sex predator. So it's very important to keep in mind what victimization is, and we will talk about some safeguards in a little bit. It's important to understand that those two things, cyberbullying and victimization, are not the only potential harm on the internet. You know, you have fraud, you have identity theft, you have personal information being leaked out. But the two main topics is victimization and cyberbullying for the adolescent ages. So we're going to move on to our third question. What are some methods to teach internet safety to adolescents? Who should be involved in teaching process, common practice, basic strategies, internet awareness strategies, enhancing the teaching experience are our hot topics. I feel like this is a really important thing because it gives you some really good information, and teachers, you can take this information and use it and apply it to your daily classroom. So of course we have our hot topics again. Who should be involved? Teacher internet safety involves many people. Basically, it involves everyone in your school, your community, and family members. And you need to come up with a plan of action to decide on what is available within your community and what you need to use. Common practice, internet safety, there's many different tactics on how to approach internet safety. Incorporate main points with each internet safety course. Students should especially understand that internet safety is the control of the individual. That child, that adolescent has its own control over how much and how little that they put safeguards on when they're on the internet, and that's something for them to understand, that it's their individual way of safeguarding themselves. And it needs to be realistic and applicable to how adolescents use the internet. If you just show them something on an education website and say, okay, this is how you're safe, it's not going to work. You need to use internet safety on socialization ones, on webs, on how to make your stuff private. They need to be taught all those safeguards, and it needs to be taught and practiced in a protective environment. Basic strategies: never give out personal information, never share internet passwords, even with friends, never arrange a meeting with someone you meet online, never respond to messages that are confusing or uncomfortable, never use bad language or send messages online. Ensure that children understand what is appropriate and inappropriate materials, and when should one report internet interactions to authorities. All of these topics are just the basic strategies. There's tons of websites that I have available at the end that will go more into depth for this, and there needs to be descriptions for each one of these basic strategies so students understand the importance. An internet awareness strategy: students should learn who online sex offenders are and the tactics used. Don't disclose personal information via the internet. Don't talk to unknown individuals in chat rooms, and never talk about sex with anyone while online. It is important for adolescents to recognize that potential harm is always possible when online. And again, just reading this off to students, it needs to be more intact. Enhancing the teaching experience. When you're talking to students about this, the technique and attitude of addressing the information is also important. It's almost more important than the topic. It needs to be hands-on. Students need to learn from one another. They need to be able to engage and understand that the attitude is important, that people really are watching out for their safety. And I have two different methods. There's many methods that you can use, but a student learning from student is a productive way for adolescents to engage in the internet. Students learning from students will allow students to show more interest in applying safety methods, and also the overall attitude of the school about internet safety usage is important. They need to be productive, it needs to be preventive, and there needs to be a positive approach towards this. 4. What resources are available for teachers, parents, and adolescents? There's types of resources, internet resources, and credible resources. Of course, we have our hot topics again, and the first are types of resources. Some schools buy plans, other schools you can get stuff offline. There's interactive games, online learning videos, informational-based resources. Good materials and how to properly use them is vital to teach students about internet safety. And here are some internet resources. I also have these resources available on the handout. So all of these are really credible, and they are great for teens. And then, of course, credible resources. Keep in mind that you need to have credible resources as well. So local, state, federal government websites, educational resources are available. Unidentifiable resources, no. Things that are going to ask for your personal information or credit cards are probably not a good thing. So, final thoughts. Internet safety is a precaution that every person should have it himself or herself when using the internet. Identifying internet safety will educate people about the importance of using it with specific technology. And understanding the internet dangers will help adolescents gain knowledge to prevent possible negative interactions while using the internet. Teachers and parents have a great way to teaching students the importance of it. And if you can get involved and involve the students and show them that you care, they will really have a big impact. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later.